this video, I'll be sharing with you a requested tutorial from my group on how to cut this stylish overlap wrap dress. So if this is something you like, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button. And if you're a beginner and you're having issues with drafting out your corset, you can join us on our 5 days corset class or our bustier pattern class also. So here is my pattern, and I've gone ahead to mark out my basic measurements. So the next step I'm going to take is to mark my shoulder divided by 2, and I'll add ½ inch, come down by 1 inch here. Now I'll go ahead to connect my shoulder slope or shoulder slant. Mark out a basic neckline of 3 by 3 inches, which will serve as a guide for this pattern. After I'm done marking this, I'll go ahead to find my chest line, which is my bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. Make a mark at that point and I'll draw out a straight line. After that, I'll go ahead to mark what I have on my shoulder, which is my shoulder divided by 2 plus half, and I'll go ahead to place my ruler and I'll connect. After I'm done connecting, I'm going to divide what I have there into 2 by folding my tape. After I'm done marking that, I'll come in by ½ inch, go ahead to mark my bust circumference divided by 4. Now I'll connect from here to here and then connect to the upper part. After I'm done connecting that, I'll go ahead to use my marker to outline this part. So next, I'll start by marking my dart intake, and for the dart intake, I'll mark my nipple to nipple divided by 2. My nipple to nipple is 7 inches divided by 2. I have 3.5 inches. Now, I'm going to go ahead to connect this all the way to the lower part of this pattern. After I'm done marking this, I'm going to go ahead to mark my dart intake of 1 inch on both sides. Now, if you're a plus size or you have a bigger bust, you should consider using at least 1.5 inches at this point and go ahead to connect. After I'm done connecting, I'm going to go ahead to use my marker to outline this part of the pattern. After outlining, I'll go ahead to connect from the bust to the under bust and also connect this at the other side of my pattern. And after this, I'll go ahead to divide my shoulder into 2 and I'm going to connect and mark. Now I'll go ahead to take a dart intake at least about 1 inch at the shoulder. I'll go ahead and connect this down. Now I'll extend that dart intake I took out and I'll connect it. After I'm done reconnecting it, I'll use my marker to outline this to make it more visible for you to see. So I'll go ahead and insert my body measurement. I'm going to mark my bust circumference divided by 4, measure this dart intake I have here, replace and add my sewing allowance. At the under bust, I'll mark my under bust circumference divided by 4, measure the dart intake and replace my sewing allowance. I'll also repeat this at the waistline, and at the lower part, I'll mark my hip circumference divided by 4, measure the dart intake, replace and add ½ inch or my sewing allowance. So it totally depends on the sewing allowance you want to use. Now I'll go ahead to connect my pattern. After I'm done connecting, I'll go ahead to use my marker to outline it. So after this, I'll go ahead to transfer all this measurement at the other side of my pattern. So after that, after transferring it, I'll just go ahead and cut it out. Now after I'm done cutting this out, I'll take another pattern paper and I'll place underneath it. Place it on that pattern, that is the first pattern on that pattern paper, and trace it out. Now I'll get my tracing wheel and I'll go ahead to trace out my dart lines from the shoulder to the lower part. Using a tracing wheel saves you the time to go ahead to redraft your pattern. So if you don't have a tracing wheel, there's no problem. You can use a scissors to do this if you're good at it, or and just go ahead and retrace your pattern. So what I'll do now is I'll go ahead to start remarking all those lines that I have on the tracing wheel this way. These lines might not be visible to you, but it is visible to me because I actually used a tracing wheel on it. Now, just like I said, if you don't have a tracing wheel, you can go ahead to retrace your pattern. that is recut another pattern of what you did actually. So this is me just marking out the neckline. And sorry, this part of the video is a bit fast. I had to do this to save time. So after I'm done marking out all this pattern, we'll now go ahead to start altering our pattern to get what we actually need. So here is me bringing back the initial pattern. So from here you can decide to come down by 2 inches, 1 inches from your waistline. That is, after your waistline you can come down by 1 inch to 3 inches. This totally depends on how you want that part to be, and I will mark. So after this, from the center part of my pattern, I will be marking 1.5 inches for the opening. You can also use 1 inch or 2 inches for this part. Now after connecting it, this is how open mine is, and I'll go ahead to outline. And after I'm done outlining on this part, the next step I'm going to take is to go ahead to draw out the neckline area. So at first I used the initial neckline, but looking at what we have there, it seems as if the neckline is a bit wider. So for the neckline, you can use at least 3.5 inches. So looking at what I have here, I'll just be looking at what I have on the main picture and start drafting out. So getting to this point, I have to blend in my pattern and I'll extend it to the side, right? And that should be at least 1.5 or 2 inches on top of your waistline, that line that I marked, so that you now outline your waistline this way and you'll be connecting it to the other side. Also go ahead to blend out your pattern this way when you want to connect that. So I'll just go ahead and connect it here, going towards this side. So after I'm done connecting it, this is what I have on this side. Now we are going to work on the other side of this dress. So this dress looks like an overlap dress. That means there should be a part going towards the other side of the pattern. So just like I said, I extended the neckline a bit, let's say by 3.5 inches, and not the basic 3 inches. So I'll come down a bit by 1.5 here, and I'll start connecting or reconnecting the line and start slanting it down. Or you can come down by 2 inches and then start reconnecting it down to the other end, and probably come down around 3 inches or 3.5. So after connecting, I'll come down by 1.5 and then I'll draw this semicircle at this point. So for me, I think this is not actually a semicircle. I feel this part of this dress extended to this side, and from this side we have an extension here. That is the only way that this dress probably will be overlapping at both sides, because there's no top stitch on top of the dress at the center. So I'll be extending that to the side. So after I'm done doing that, I'll place that other pattern that we drafted out or we cut out from the first original pattern. Now what I'll do is I'll start tracing out. So from this semicircle, I'll extend it to the side this way, because I feel it's extending to the side, and from there I'll connect it to this part and I'll outline the neckline. So just watch the areas that I am outlining. So I know this pattern looks easy, but is a lot tricky. So I'll go ahead and start outlining those parts that I marked out. So watch as I trace this out to this side and then connect to the other end. So I'll now go ahead to cut this out also, and I'll also go ahead to cut out this part of my pattern, place it, and then you want to go ahead to also blend out your darts, because there's no darts joining on the pattern. What I mean is that the part going towards the side, like this part I'm blending in, there's no dart line on it. It's just the shoulder dart and the part on the bust that we have a dart. So also here I will retrace here so that it will enable me blend out my darts very well, right? So I'll also go ahead to cut this part out and trace out the shoulder dart. So you also have to join this as one piece, right? And this side you're also going to cut out the shoulder dart that you have here and the part going towards the bustier pattern. So you see me blending out this dart also. So this is what I have on this part after I'm done cutting out. So I'll also be explaining to you how to join it. So for this dress now, you'll be joining each side together, like each part that has the shoulder dart to the bust part together. So if you have any question, please go ahead to ask, because this pattern is a little tricky. So now you join each of them as one piece, right? This one that has pattern 2 on it, after joining it, go ahead to turn it with lining. So for the other side, all you have to do is to join it first, then take this pattern 2 side, place on it and add it, like join it with 1/2 inch. Now the pattern will be going towards the other end. So after you're done joining it, you can now add your lining to this pattern 1, like use the lining and turn that side up. So this is what the back pattern looks like. I've already gone ahead to mark out the basic measurements to reduce the time we are going to spend on doing that. So this part has a zipper. So what you're going to do first is to go ahead to mark your nipple to nipple divided by 2, and you're going to place your ruler and connect. After marking, you're going to be marking 1/2 inch on both sides of your pattern. Connect your dart upwards and then go ahead to mark back your nipple to nipple and connect. After that, you're going to come down by 4 inches. Now you're going to connect your dart. After you're done connecting your dart, the next step you're going to take is to insert your body measurement. Now you're going to mark your bust circumference divided by 4, and you'll be adding your sewing allowance, because there's no dart at the upper part of the pattern. Here you mark your under bust circumference divided by 4 and add your sewing allowance, or you can leave it because it's just the back pattern. All you have to do is mark the waist circumference divided by 4, measure the dart intake, replace and add your sewing allowance. Now go ahead and mark your hip circumference divided by 4 and add your sewing allowance. So after that, go ahead to place your ruler and connect. So when I was connecting, I forgot and connected my under bust, but I'll go ahead to reconnect it later. So after this, I'll just go ahead and cut out my pattern. And if you have any question, please don't forget to go ahead to leave your question at the comment section. So just like I said, I connected back my pattern this way and I will cut it out. So next, you need to take out the zipper bulge at the dress, and all you have to do is come out by 1/2 inch and extend this all the way up and take it down. You can also replace it at the side of your pattern. So this is what I have.